player.
Luke, it must feel like a donkey you draw on days like this.
It's been a good summer so far. I think the guys they had to work really hard this morning. Well, for half the day there, they were just like really sort of dealing with some situations to sort of push through and get through and stuff like that, and we sort of made the most of it after tea there. So it was a nice way to finish the day, I think.
You say that, but like 71 for 3 is sort of quite a difficult position to be in, or one of the more difficult ones they've been in this summer. But Kane and Henry obviously, riding their luck at points as well, but also control.
Yeah, but I think that's part of cricket anyway. You've got to ride your luck. I mean, Henry said that sort of a couple of innings now where there's been a few chances, but that's just the nature of the game and stuff like that. And I guess when you've got someone like Kane Williamson there, you always know you've got a pretty strong rock there to change the tide of an innings, I guess. But it was a tight little period there. But we also know, we've known through sort of the whole summer there, if you work through those little periods and you sort of control it as much as you can in your own sort of way, that hopefully as time goes on through the day, you can sort of make the most of it later on.
What do you think makes these guys, or enables them to compartmentalise and move on after those types of incidents where they're close to getting out?
I guess it's just the nature of the cricket play. We play on pretty green wickets majority of the time in Test cricket in New Zealand, so more often than not, the bowlers are going to have sort of lengthy periods of time where they are going to be on top of you, and you have to just accept that and sort of say, well, if you play a miss, you play a miss. If you nick it and you drop it, it's a chance. I've just got to keep going. It's probably going to happen more often than not, I guess, in an innings and stuff like that. So it's just about letting go of whatever's happened, because you're never going to be able to change that, and just sort of push forward with what you've got in front of you, and hopefully react as best you can to whatever they feed you next, really.
Kane was on, I think, 10 runs after about 50 balls. Was it sort of talked about in the changing rooms that you needed a sort of certain amount of balls before you started to get the pace of the pitch?
Not really. I guess unless they were talking about out in the middle. It was more just about assessing conditions the way you saw it as each individual, I think, because every player sees and plays it so differently that you sort of can't really say as a blanket rule, right, give yourself 50 balls and then you can sort of see what's happening. I think some players like to sort of get going a little bit sooner, some like to sort of bat the whole day type thing, so it's more about getting out there and assessing it the best way you can, and then working it out within your game plan to make the most of it, I guess, the longer you bat.
I know you can't second guess the decisions that Pakistan are making on the field, but were you a bit surprised that sort of half an hour before tea they brought on part-timers when they seem to be still in the game, certainly?
I think if you look at the way the day panned out, I think that little period before tea sort of changed the momentum of the day. I think that sort of got our guys going a bit, and then straight after tea, I think that's sort of where Kane and Henry just sort of kicked it into gear a little bit more in that final session there. They were brilliant. So to finish off at whatever it is, 280 odd or 290 or at the end of the day with the position we were in, and still only 3 down, I think it's a fantastic finish today for us, definitely.
The first hour after lunch was really quite testing, I think. Ross got out, and then I think it might have been 30 runs scored in the hour. It did seem tough going out there, but as you said, that wee period just before tea where they brought on a couple of spinners. Yeah,
it was. We were also sort of talking about, I think, for that up to that point, the ball was still quite hard, and it looks like the new ball is the harder time, or harder ball is the hardest time. It does a little bit more, and I think also when the ball softened, the part-time sort of medium pace came on, it gave the guys a bit of an opportunity just to change gears and change mindsets and make the most of trying to score runs and change the momentum. And I think that sort of it changed massively around that period. So it was really nice for us. And then to get, like I said, to get through the rest of the day without losing a wicket has been fantastic.
You happy with the way the pitches were in?
Yeah, this is my first test here, so I haven't been here in the past to sort of see how green, I guess, the pitches have been. You can just sort of go on what everyone else has been saying. So it seems to be holding up quite well and stuff, and it's still doing something. So that's always nice if we can sort of keep pushing tomorrow and get a lead and get as big a lead as possible, and sort of see how things change over the next couple of days, or tomorrow, I guess, more than anything, and then sort of plan how we might want to do things going from there. But it's about same as you always hear, starting the day again tomorrow and all the cliches and all that sort of stuff. But hopefully we do what we want to do early on, and then that can sort of set the day up to work out the way we hopefully can get it to work out.
Does Kane ever surprise you now?
No, not really, no, because knowing Kane and the way his mind is and the way he acts and things like that, it's almost, he just loves batting. He sort of, he clicks into gear early on in the day when he's warming up and stuff like that. He can just see, you just look at him, you know that something's just going in his mind and stuff like that, and then it's just him, that's him being him out there. It's his own little world, and he goes about his business, and the ball will do something. You see him look at the picture, and then other things happen, and he works really hard in periods, and other times he plays these amazing sort of shots to score his runs and stuff like that. And it's he's just one of those players at the moment that make the game look really easy when other people seem to not find it so easy. So it's brilliant to watch, and it's brilliant to be involved with someone like that and see how they work and stuff. I'm in a cool position. I think we're all in a really cool position to have such a close view of how he works and I guess the results that he can produce for us.
Luke, do you think his values spread sort of like osmosis through the team, where it's less about numbers now and more about situations for all players, rather than just him?
Yep, I think that's a massive part of it, because especially you sort of see whenever he does get to a score or 100 or something, there's no sort of, it's just another run to him. There's so many situations that he looks at and thinks about where the team could be in a situation, and then that sort of just, it filters through the whole group, and people sort of react in the same ways and play the same ways, and you obviously have different reactions, I guess, if you get hundreds and stuff, but it's a number and stuff, and then there's another ball coming after that. There's more things to do after you get to this point than this point and then this point. He always looks at it in a longer sort of version of things, and that certainly does wear off on other people, definitely.
Good. Cheers, Liz.
Thanks.